Everyone, I'm Andrea Klim, and you're watching Turn to the Stars. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is October 29th, 2021, and I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Scorpio, which is coming up. So the energy of the last new moon phase is fading out. We're finishing up things that had to do with relating with others. We're at the tail end of realizing a lot of things about how we related with others and what that looks like in our lives. And there's some bigger aspects that I'm going to be talking about during today's recording. And so the new moon occurs on November 4th at about 5:15 Eastern time, just before the time change where we, do the fall back, we put our clocks back an hour, which is next weekend. So we want to all be aware of that next, I believe that's November 7th to the 8th, that we're going to be turning our clocks back, falling back 1 hour, and it's going to be light earlier in the morning and dark earlier at night. So it's a transmutation, a time of transmutation. That's what Scorpio energy is about, is transformation, going from the dark to the light, identifying areas where there's emotions and feelings and underlying currents that are needed to be recognized. So on this new moon, it is at 12 degrees of Scorpio, and it's a time when the sun and the moon come together in a particular constellation, and so it forms a new star. It brings the energy of a new theme of development, and this one's particularly important because it's going to lead up to our first lunar eclipse of the season around the later part of November. So let's just talk about this new moon first, because the theme is quite intense and quite electrifying. So, and that's because this new moon is opposite Uranus and Taurus. And so this theme of transformation, of emotion, of intensity, of feeling, because Scorpio is a water sign, is very evident. And so Scorpio is about identifying the things that we can't see on the surface. It's the detective of the zodiac. It's the one that inspires us to look deep within our feelings and our emotions, look deep within the things that the things that we are affected by or influenced by from other people. And so, because it is on the axis of Scorpio and Taurus, because it is exactly opposite Uranus, the planet of rebellion, the planet of awakening, the planet of unusual, different, sudden, unexpected experiences. So it becomes like a crossroad of awareness, this new moon, into areas of things that we value, things that we are hold dear to our hearts, material things, and we're become really aware of the changes around us that are happening because of this opposition to Uranus. This is an exact opposition, so it means that it's very, very powerful. So we become aware of areas where changes are really important, areas where finances are affected, meaning both globally and personally. And we become aware of areas where we can pull together and work together in a more powerful way, or areas where we might need to maybe make some changes in order to get past obstacles or areas where, where we're different than each other. So that's important as well. And I'm just going to touch on some really important areas about this Scorpio new moon, because with new moons, they do create a period where whatever's promised grows in experience to each and every one of us throughout the month that comes ahead. So, and this one is very much about the values, the things that we value, the things that we are affected by in the world around us. Scorpio is a lot to do with our investments, places where we've invested. And this opposition on a universal level. Now, remember, universally, I'm speaking about the things that affect us all in this world and on this earth. And this is energy that is affecting everybody in some way or form, especially if you're a Scorpio with a birthday around this time, or if you're a Taurus with a birthday around November 4th, you're going to feel this very much in your life. So this new moon does present a special opportunity to tune into your intuition. It can bring some sweet and stunning surprises. So it does give you an opportunity to get some clarity around this new chapter over the course of the next couple of weeks at the time of the new moon till that full moon when it brings things to full light, and the next 6 months, because remember again, this is a new moon that leads to an eclipse. So we're coming on a period of time where big changes are happening with us. So with this month's new moon falling in this magnetic, deeply emotional, but spiritually gifted Scorpio, we'll feel even more connected to our intuition and more apt to respond emotionally. So be aware of how you respond to others. Take some time to ponder your responses. Take some time to look deep within and say, is this how I really want to respond, or is this going to trigger someone else? And so sit with that a little bit. I think that might help you very much. Meditate on that and look for that pearl of wisdom that is carried by this new moon. And so we are, as I said earlier, in the proximity of an eclipse that's coming later in the month of, it's going to be in the sign of Taurus in a late degree. So this new moon in Scorpio could feel even more intense, almost like a game changer. You know, when you're playing a game and you're suddenly, you get a change in the direction of the game. Suddenly you're not losing anymore, you're winning, or suddenly you're losing and you're not winning. So this is a time where we can pull together with awareness of these differences. So the main aspect about this new moon is the opposition, as I said earlier, to Uranus, the planet of change, the planet of rebellion, the planet of awakening, the planet of, and it's in Taurus, and Taurus rules over materials. It rules over self-esteem. It rules over things that we find valuable. And it can stir up anxiety and a desire to break free from things that have been brought to your attention. And it can also inspire you to wake up to realize that this is a time of great awakening, especially in areas that have to do with money making, have to do with feelings and emotions connected with other people. These are areas that Taurus and Scorpio rule over. Although changes can be very daunting, any uneasiness or nervousness that you're experiencing around this new moon should feel fairly familiar. So after all, 2021 has been marked by an ongoing shakeup bringing square. And that square was between Saturn and Saturn and Uranus. So it actually makes perfect sense that we've had so many lunar events, meaning new moons, that have triggered these great changes on Earth. And so that was, it's been August, September, October. So it's been very destabilizing with Uranus involved. We've had Mercury and Venus. Mercury and Venus actually are smoothing the rough edges of this electrifying new moon. Although the Scorpio's new moon's opposition to Uranus could bring shocks to the system for better or worse. And there's a nice sextile between Mercury in balance-seeking air sign Libra and relationship-oriented Venus in fiery, truth-loving Sagittarius also occurs on that day of that new moon. So this can bring, it can make any eyebrow-raising curveballs easier to deal with. So connect with your nearest and dearest. It becomes more natural, easier, and heartfelt. And direct, be careful of unfiltered conversations, and that you could have feeling that are supported in any way, and twists, that turns, that rise, that, that come up now. So there is on this new moon also, we also have the, I'm looking at the chart here. Hang on one second. Yeah, and looking at the chart right now, we also have Mars in square and an applying square to Saturn. So, everybody is in an actively searching for stability and support and a restructuring of their lives, and how can they achieve goals that have been very challenging in their life, especially in the financial sectors and the financial areas. And so, but I would advise you to be very careful in acting on in those areas. Take your time, do some research, do some deep diving into those areas, especially when it's connected with other people and their values and their sense of worth. That's very, very important. And primarily, look at the things, the information that can help you, the resources that are available to all of us that are very valuable at this time. There's going to be a lot. The North Node is in Gemini, and it is actually trining Saturn. So there's a lot of places out there where there's resources that are very helpful. Remember, Scorpio is all about change, transformation, and it's basically a marker of things ending and new things starting. It's ruled by Mars and Pluto. So there's an intensity attached to this new moon, which I was talking about before. And so it's an important month for us to finish up. We've been in that really October into November. When we get into this eclipse season, it's time to finish up old things and prepare for a new start, a new path, a new, something new in our lives that we have been thinking about, and really look at how we can work together even more than ever, how we can pull together in support of each other. So everyone, I want to say thank you for tuning in to Turn to the Stars, and wish you well, and wish you a very happy fall season into the winter as the winter starts. And thank you all again for watching Turn to the Stars. And if I can be of any help with you for readings on a personal level and a look at your eclipses and the changes that are being promised in your life for the next 6 months and what those look like and how you can best work with that, please let me know. I'm at Andrea@turntothestars.com, and I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take good care. Remember, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there.